Am I dreaming? Or am I awake?
Francis, you think the Thornbeak's around here?
The old fears. They still haunt me.
Hold on, Lance Wing! We're coming!
That I'm on a train to nowhere.
You are the driver, sir.
When I awake, will I face the worst parts of myself? I need to listen to that quiet voice calling me. That need to make something again. We'll make it. Me and you.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UK Games Showcase here in Space Ape Games as part of the London Games Festival. We have seen a whole bunch of some of the best UK game developers and some of the best games to offer here in the United Kingdom, and we have interviewed a whole lot of them, and now we're on the final one. I am with Alex Evans. How you doing?
Hello, very well, thank you. Yeah. What a beautiful place Space Ape is.
I know, right?
So it's like, yeah, I was going to say, can I say bloody hell on street? Of
course you can.
I've done it now.
It's the internet,
it's really
mate.
nice.
Do what you want.
Thanks
you
for
can do
inviting us.
anything on
I mean,
that.
you know, you guys on the internet can't see it, but it's a really lovely place to just chill out and chat about games.
Yeah. And you're obviously one of the co-founders of Media Molecule.
Yeah,
which is
that's
Sort of
right.
Dreams.
I mean, Dreams has been our sort of, do they call it a moonshot in America? You know, where
They
you
might
sort
do.
of go...
Oh,
Actually,
like just sort of that, why not?
why not? Actually, audience participation. Who's sort of familiar with Dreams?
Please.
Where do I begin? Hands up if you've heard of Dreams. A couple of hands there. I mean, the thing about Dreams for us was we saw it as a sort of sketchbook. You know, I'm jealous of people who can jam in their guitar with their, you know, in their garage with their mates.
Yeah.
Or, you know, artists can just do a quick 5-minute sketch on the tube in the morning. Lovely.
Yeah.
Game making is a much more sort of...
Takes longer than
It
that.
takes a bit longer than that. And it's not as, you know, it's not just about short things, but also it's about having an idea and getting it onto the page, or in our case, onto the PlayStation, TV, whatever. So Dreams, that was the start of Dreams. But then we wanted it to be for gamers as well. We wanted it to be a fantastic play. You were asking about the campaign mode.
Yes.
You just saw Art. He's a hero of the dream, if you like. It's called Art's Dream, the story.
Yes.
And you have to sort him out. He's a bit messed up in the head. He's got all these sort of dreams that we interweave together. So we've got 3 stories that we sort of twist together as a... But that's the cake layer. I'm going to try and find a food analogy.
Yes, we wanted a food analogy.
Yeah, if anyone's
for
got
this.
any better recommendations than an onion. Because
Yeah,
I sometimes
rubbish.
say, you know, Dreams is an onion, it's a bit rubbish. But you get tempted by the outside of the onion, the top of the cake.
Yeah,
top of
cake,
the
mate,
cake.
yeah, I guess you're not tempted by the outside of an onion.
No,
Like
let's go
sort
with
of
cake.
dead skin on the front. You're like,
No, let's not
"Ah."
do that. So Art's Dream is the top icing layer of the cake.
Yes.
And you play Art's Dream, and it's a wonderful game. And we released Tearaway and Tearaway Unfolded.
Brilliant game,
We
brilliant.
learned a lot about 3D platforming, because before that we did Little Big Planet.
Yes.
And so Dreams is almost like the culmination of this idea of a sketchbook mixed with Little Big Planet, mixed with everything we learned from Tearaway, storytelling, 3D gameplay. And in the background here, you can just see we've got some footage of our art director, Kareem, and he's just going to be sculpting and creating. And the reason I say it's a cake-onion hybrid is because you play the game, you enjoy it, and then you think, well, that was cool, but I could do better. And that's what we really want people to do. We want people to just dig in. And I was explaining it to someone, and they were like, so it's a game, yes, and it's a 3D modeling package. It's like, yes, complete 3D modeling package. And you can do gameplay, and you can do programming, and you can do animation. And I was like, yes, yes, and yes. And when we were demoing it, people kept asking us as we were playing through our story, so can you do characters, can you change that character? It's like, yeah, we made that character in the game, and there was this sort of still not quite getting it, that we literally, everyone in the studio at Media Molecule only has a DualShock, so the coders get PCs. But basically everything you see in the game, that we have a zero cheating policy, so literally every designer at Media Molecule, all they have is a PlayStation 4, and I kid you not, I swear on my everything, that all they get is a DualShock or some of them use moves, you can use either, and they just get to do the stuff that you're seeing in the background. That's how we build our story. And the weirdest thing was, the penny drop moment for most people watching Dreams is when they see the music, right? The music creation, because no one thinks they're interested in music creation. They're like, whatever, it's just a niche thing. But then they realize, oh my God, you have a complete garage band music creation, you can do localized voiceovers, you can do all these mad things, and people at that moment are like, okay, then you're completely mental. The cake goes all the way down. And what excites me about Dreams is really this. It's hard to convey the sort of 6-year journey we've been on, and it's had its ups and downs and all that stuff. But people still get excited in the studio when they go home, and then they make completely different stuff from our story. So our story is one thing, and it has a flavour, or it has 3 flavours. But when they go home, they make completely. In fact, this is where I go off piste. And,
do it. We discussed this at the beginning.
This is totally not allowed. So Mark, the creative director, emailed the team, and I promised I'm just reading an email that Mark sent the team this morning. We didn't tell him that the VR. We have this thing called MM at Home, which is basically the early beta, which is coming as soon as we can get it out. There'll be a beta trial of Dreams, and then later in the year there'll be the full game. But we have a sneaky one at home for just like us chilling out and trying out the beta, right? And the weird thing is, I say, people just build different stuff, but we didn't tell Mark that the early versions of the VR was in the home build. So he just put his PS4 on, and he put on the thing, and he emailed the company this morning. He goes, oh my God, the Dreams at Home build has the beginnings of VR working. It's like, yes, the entire code team knows about that, but
they made it.
Well, especially Simon. Thanks, Simon. And he goes, I made a quick remote control helicopter, just landing on my sofa in 1 hour or so, and it's pretty fun to play. Oh my God, Dreams is nuts. I love it. And the thing is, this is someone who's using Dreams every day for the last 6 years, right? And he's still discovering this sort of joy. And I think the thing about game development, and you sort of hear it in the other game devs as well, it's like you sort of reconnect with that joy, and you do that through the fans as well. When the game comes out, you reconnect with, oh, I remember why I made this game. I remember why Dreams is special. And so the thing that I'm really hyped at the moment about is the VR side we've been very coy about, because VR's hard and it hasn't been our focus. And you know, and I'm not announcing the VR. I've been told to say it's day 2.
For that.
No, it'll have VR. I mean, we'd be mental not to have VR. But it may not be on day 1. I don't know. But the thing that's happening is I no longer have to be coy about it. And seriously, I bet you, like Abby, the PR lady's in LA, so she can't do anything.
Nice. Too late. She can't get you here.
She can't get me here. But seeing it, and I literally saw VR, and Mark just saw VR, and we're starting to see it sort of come to fruition, and you're in these worlds that you've just built on your telly, and then you suddenly put the headset on, and you can create in VR as well. So it's sort of Minority Report type thing going on, and you're just sort of sculpting and creating and making music, and you can arrange timelines, you can do animation, you can do stop motion, and in VR it all clicks in a way that is even cooler than TV. And even though I know this, and I've said it before, I actually sort of experienced it recently, and Mark just saw it on his sofa, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. So yeah, VR is going really well. That's my sneaky reveal that I'm not allowed to reveal. That it's like going, it's
You're
awesome.
going to make me buy another thing, aren't you?
Yes,
Which is really, this was the thing with Tearaway. I didn't intend on getting a Vita.
Awesome.
And then Tearaway came out, and it was like, oh, well, I have to play this.
Oh, fantastic.
I can't play it. And the one thing I would say with Media Molecule, and this is going to sound like a stupid analogy to begin with, but stick with it, is you feel like the Nintendo of Sony.
Oh, well, you know...
Doesn't sound correct, but...
I'm not sure if I should take that. Should I say yes or no? That sounds good.
But in the sense that when I was playing Tearaway, it was the first time I was playing something on the Vita where I truly felt like I was using everything on the Vita. I was using it to its full potential.
We really wanted to kind of capture the feeling of the controller. And, you know, it's like using our exclusivity to its advantage. It's like, okay, we've got this platform. It's a wonderful platform. Vita is an amazing bit of hardware.
It is.
And it's like, we didn't feel like people were necessarily using it for itself. So Tearaway, Rex is... obviously a brilliant designer, and the whole team behind it just really went for it. And when we got that finger... Yeah,
that was amazing.
Poking up.
If you haven't played Tearaway, there's a moment where there's play it. there's a touch screen on the back of the Vita, which was sort of rarely.
No one wasn't using it.
Yeah,
People
no one
use
was ever using it. But like, you do a little bit where you can interact with the scenery in the game. Probably all of you know this, but by poking it on the back, and your finger would pop up through the video game. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
It was
Like,
one
you
of
sat there
those-
and you're just like, oh, and I just move my finger around and I can interact with the world like this.
It was like one of those gameplay mechanic moments that, and if, by the way, you can play it on PS4 as well.
You can,
Tearaway
yes,
So
Unfolded.
if you don't have a Vita, and we sort of reworked. It's a much bigger game for the DualShock. But the weird thing was that people afterwards were like, I love that it's using the controller and the Vita, but also it's a charming game in itself.
It was.
And I think with Dreams, what I'm really interested in is like it's really inclusive. So one of the things that I think is cool about 2018. There's lots of things that are rubbish about 2018, but one of the amazing things about 2018 is what a time to be creating, playing, gaming. There's so many amazing platforms. There's so many different outlets for creativity. And Dreams is like, well, where does that fit in with all of those other outlets, right? So for me, Dreams is uniquely a sketchbook, is uniquely a game experience. You can sit down and quickly get your ideas out, but also play other people's ideas. And I think that's super inclusive. I love the idea that games as a medium is reaching out to filmmakers, to people who want to just tell stories, kids, people of all ages, races, genders, everything. I think that's really important for games to expand. And Dreams really connects with people in different ways. Again, this is where it's going to be a buffet now. It's not cake. So the buffet element of Dreams
I'm down.
is called
There's still
Dreams.
cake on the buffet.
There's still
it's
cake
fine.
on the buffet.
Yeah.
Is Dream surfing. So the last thing I'll talk about, because I don't know how long we got, but Dream surfing is this idea where you get to basically try out different people's ideas that they've uploaded. And what we do is we take 3, if you like, maps or dreams, and we interweave them, a bit like a movie where they cut between 3 different stories. So, but it's random.
Yeah.
So, for example, you might have made
you just go.
Yeah. So you might have made a story that's like, I don't know, an RPG, and then someone else has made a movie about the skeleton that turns into a unicorn, and then someone else has made a racing game, right? And those will be plucked by the algorithm science cloud potatoes, and they will choose those 3 random things, and then they basically interweave it. So you play a bit of the first one. What was that? I can't remember. RPG. And then after a chapter of your RPG, it jumps to the skeleton that turns into a unicorn for a chapter, and then it does a chapter of the racing game, and then takes you back to your one in the order that you intended it. So you get this kind of buffet.
Yeah.
And it is mental in a wonderful way. But again, it celebrates what I hope Dreams will become. And I think, Worlds Adrift guys were talking about how you give creative people an inch, and they put out their island creator, and the community behind it go mental, make all this awesome stuff, and I hope Dreams will be the same. And then everyone gets to benefit from that. So I can just sit back at the end of the day, and Dreams, I'm not feeling creative, I'm not particularly wanting that, I've got my beer, end of a long day, I can just go into Dream surfing and play this like bizarre, inclusive, strange, and yet wonderful woven together thing. And that experience we'll never be able to test until the game's out, which is like even more scary but awesome. So yeah, Dreams is beta coming as soon as we humanly can, and the game will be out at the end. And it will have VR in it eventually, hopefully very soon eventually, because it's going really well. Thank you, Simon. I have to give props to the team. Simon Brown, Jedi 3D programmer.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a bit of a legend. So thank you, Simon, because he was a bit like that. You know when you get a builder quote?
Yeah. Like, I could,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be a fun time.
But he's just quietly doing it, and it's great. So thanks, Simon.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, I will say, just speaking as myself, I do feel even sometimes Sony do not take full advantage of what their systems can do. And you guys, I mean, I suppose they do. But for me, you guys do the most amazing work on those systems, and you make... I didn't want a VR headset. It looked fine.
You do
it's
now?
like, but now I do.
Do you
It's like,
seriously?
I've played Doom. Do I want to play Doom or Skyrim when I walk forward a bit? It's like, yeah, it's fine. But now, when there's a thing built around it, the same with the Vita. That's when I want to play
I think
it.
the other strange thing, like
I'm also being told to rap, but I'm on it, don't worry.
Okay, so my
Fascinating to me.
kids have been playing VR. I know that's a bit naughty. You're not meant to do that until they're 12, I think.
Yeah, it's with
Don't
the
do that,
eyes,
everyone.
right? Yeah,
but anyway,
don't.
and they were playing the Last Guardian demo. Have you played that? It's really good. Anyway,
I've seen video of it. I don't have the
it's
headset,
really
but
really
yeah.
cool. Sorry. Yes,
This
but
is my fault,
VR
don't
is in its infancy, right? So the cool thing is it's a level playing field, so anyone can make a really cool VR experience in Dreams. As soon as it's out, you'll be able to make a VR experience and push the medium forward. So I think what's really interesting is that we haven't figured out as game makers, any of us in the room, have figured out VR yet. We're all
I'd agree.
like trying shit out. And Dreams is going to bring a whole bunch of new people and new voices and new ideas to try shit out in VR. And I think that could really push forward the medium of VR. Wouldn't that be awesome? And also everyone gets to play really cool stuff in Dreams. So yeah, that would be
helps.
good too. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank
and
you
thank
very
you so
much.
much for everything you're doing. And yeah.
And thanks
it's been
to
great.
Space Open, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, we
Twitch
are done
people.
now. Thank you so much